But I hope you also agree with me that to do that requires a continual effort to balance our priorities between protecting the environment, which inevitably involves economic cost, lower standard of living by some degree, versus economic opportunity. And if you look around the world throughout history, the only way the environment has been cleaned up is when two things are present: free people and free markets. And you have to have both. And I defy you to look around the world and find anywhere that doesn't have both where they're doing anything to keep the environment clean. China's free markets, sort of, but they aren't free people, and they have just massive environmental disaster areas across that country. What we all learned when the wall came down about the Soviet Union, and literally vast swaths of that nation are uninhabitable. I think of Chernobyl. And you don't get a Chernobyl in America because in the Soviet Union, their nuclear reactors have 2 to 4 inches of concrete liner. We have 150 in the United States. 3 Mile Island was a success, not a failure. It was a success. Same thing happened in the Soviet Union, and they poisoned thousands of square miles of their country. That happened because free people demand that kind of accountability within their society. And they weren't in a position to do that in their country. I think there's still some question whether they are today, but they're better off than they were. They're better off than they were. The EPA is headed by a lady named Lisa Jackson. Her position is called administrator. That's the head of the EPA, is the administrator of the EPA. She said in an interview recently, "Economic consequences aren't my job." Okay. And as a legal matter, she's correct. And one of the things that the next panel will talk about is how can we fix that. We need to fix that. However, you go back 11 months, you all remember that Copenhagen climate change conference where they ran out of limousines in the whole country? That's really something. It's almost impressive. But she said to the delegates of that gathering that, get the quote right, "I'm out to transform the American economy, and I've got the 15,000 people at the EPA who are ready to help me do it." Period. No mention of keeping the environment clean. Not only aren't economic consequences her job, but the EPA, the most politically correct, because of the E, agency of them all, is being used to transform our economy in ways that are utterly destructive. Now, Americans are waking up to it. In part, that's why Morgan Griffith is headed to Congress.